Welcome and welcome back to The Whole Bucket and the next installment of Let's Make Journals, the 100% junk variety. So, last time we were together, I put a couple of journal covers together. I first made this round one and then realized I was making what is like an entry-level series, and this is not an entry-level journal cover. So then I made an entry-level journal cover out of, this might have been an old envelope or an old grocery bag, I'm not sure which. Excuse me, lady. Alright, pause for just a minute. I'm going to let this lady cat outside. Okay, we are now sans kitties. They are all outside playing. I don't know why, but she just wants to come in every once in a while, check around the house, get a fresh drink of water, and then go back outside. And then she'll do it again just before I go to bed. Okay, anyway. I don't know why I have to tell you that, but I do. So, here is the cover. Because I had a little bit of a health thing happen, I have been away from this for 2 weeks. So I don't remember, I had a plan. I don't remember what I was going to do next. So tonight I thought I would just get my head back in the game by putting a bunch of stuff together for the signature. I know one of the things that I did in the first episode for this was I introduced coffee dyeing and tea dyeing, and in this case, Kool-Aid alternative dyeing, which turns out to be a real sticky mess. That's still sticky. But let's look at the results of the dyeing of the papers. Wait, I got a few down here as well. And then we'll throw a signature together for this journal. So, this is the one with sugar-free Kool-Aid alternative. And it is sticky in some spots where the chunks were bigger. Oh, just right there. Not here, though. So, it does some cool things in the color department, though. Both sides, it soaks right through, apparently. This is a big sticky mess. Right here. And right here. Right here. So I don't think those are usable, but a bunch of this in the middle stuff could be. And it smells good. Pretty fresh. This one doesn't have any stickiness on it, but it does have the smell. Yep, pretty fresh paper. Again, same thing. Pretty fresh, no sticky. Yeah, okay. That is not sticky. This, I sprinkled coffee on it and I coffee dyed it. So let me rub that off. So yeah, this was the lined paper. It washed the lines right out, but it is a nice shade of coffee dyed paper. Same thing with this one. Also, heavy in the coffee department. Alright, this is not without some sprinkled on. This is actually a couple of onion pieces that got away from me. So here is the Scholastic book order form that I did, and you can see that it did not get all washed out. The pictures are still there. Don't know that I really want Scholastic pictures in this journal, but I might. Another notebook page with no more lines on. Here is a onion skin confetti page. Look at what the onion skin does. And I showed you, you just sprinkle it right on dry, right? You just have the paper dipped in the coffee, and then you sprinkle the onion powder on there, or flakes, I guess, and it just happens when it's drying. What else have we got? This is just a lovely dyed page. This is another lovely dyed page. Nothing special. Whatever this was, it completely fell apart in the drying process. It's back to a little sturdy now, but the printed page writing got all washed out. The ink pen did not. Where somebody was taking notes, it looks like during some sort of class. I bet this is more than one, too. It says more than one also. Maybe. Maybe not. What do I know? It's just my stuff. Why should I know what it is? This also looks and feels like more than one page. Alright. Oh. Okay, well. There's a dyed page that looks like a practice one. The 10 temperament traits. I don't even know what that is, but cool colors came out of that. Look at that. I like it. There's some little scraps. I don't know that we'll need those. Here's some more stuff from the 10 temperament traits. This just got destroyed in the process. I'm going to throw these bits out and brush this off. Some hydrangea petals in there. Alright, there is more of the washed out text and the cool colors that got in there somehow. And more of it. Then we have some more of the dyed anti-lined line paper. Some more Scholastic book page, or I mean book order pages. Let me get some more of the scraps off. I didn't clean these very well, did I? Onion skin, coffee grounds. There we go. There are some more onion skin pages. That one's pretty cool. I don't know what's going on with this one. Must have been some instant coffee bits, maybe, and I brushed them away. Yeah, must be, because it's only on that one side. And then another, this is another onion skin part, but there must have been something mixed into this batch, because I'm not sure what that black is, but the black is soaking through. So, all kinds of interesting papers, from putting them in Kool-Aid, coffee, leftover coffee, instant coffee, and onion skins. I don't know how the hydrangea leaves got in there, but I'm thinking it was just stuff that was on my trays. On my trays from a previous project. I probably left it there, and then since it was there, I just left it there still. So, let's pull together some, or just one, actually, signature. This is only going to hold one signature, because I did a hard fold, so it's just got this one place to put a signature through. I'm going to start with this thing, because I love me some vellum. I don't know where this came from, because it feels like a combination of vellum and wax paper. But that's going to go in there somewhere. This envelope, a message from the fairies. This envelope, I don't know. There's so much pretty stuff in it. I don't think I'm going to put it in as a page. I think we're going to put that in, shoot. We're going to put that in as a pocket and some other stuff, decorating stuff. I think we'll put this Shangri-La menu in somewhere. How about a double hung window advertisement? Maybe. It's a little bit glazed paper, a little bit glossy. Glue doesn't stick to the glossy pages very much, but if you have sandpaper, you can just bypass that. Leaf gutter protection. You think maybe these are the same advertising company? Clean your gutters. You put a clean your gutter page in there? I think maybe we should put a clean your gutter page in there. Just because it's purple. Why not? I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my card, but I think it's going in there somehow. Which makes me not want to put the gutter page in there. Ooh. Alright, I don't know. We'll see. I think we'll put one of these in as a page. And I have another one, so we'll do another one as a pocket. And I think this one should be the page, just because it's in better shape. So if I fold this, like right near the edge of the window, let's see what happens. So it's going to stick out. So I'm not sure what I'll do with this bit. It might get folded back over. It might get cut right out. Wow, that is so wide. It just takes up that whole area. I think I can fold a little closer to the window. I'm going to try to split that difference right there. Let's see if I still got a decent edge there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I can sew this in here somewhere. Once it gets into the journal, I'll worry about what to do with the sticky out edge. I am going to take the advertisement out though. No, I'm not. No, don't do it. Don't do it, lady. Don't do it. Don't get so picky. There is this envelope that I totally want to be in here because it is bumpy. And I actually wanted it to be in this journal because you can see it's got bumpies on it too. So it was kind of going to be a theme. In fact, unless I have more of the bumpy material, I might just save it. No, I have more. Yep. Bumpy in this one. Because I have more bumpy material. And I know just what I'm going to do with it. Okay, so this has got to go in there. Let's see, this is cut all the way across the top. So I think I will fold this right in half. Even Steven for another envelope piece. I think we need to have, look at that. That's a whole, that is as tall as the journal. How did I open this one? It's a secret. Oh, cut the top off, or the bottom, or cut this side off. If I can get this bit open, without too much damage. I'm a little hesitant because this is also glossy, so it's gonna not really, things won't stick to it great. But look at that. Ooh. So now I can glue this into the journal. And I think I will glue it in inside out. So like this, and I think I will sew it in like this. There we go. And I think that's enough envelopes because some will be pockets and such. Don't know if I want to use that or not. That's a really heavy bag for what's proving to be a very light journal. I think I should use a couple of the notebook papers. I think I should use a page of Scholastic, but I don't want it sideways. I don't do well when my letters are sideways. So I think it would have to go this way and then be cut to fit. These can be folded this way. See, this one is very torn up, and I'm still going to keep it just like it is. Hopefully I'll get a chance to show you how to fix all kinds of stuff, like completely ripped up papers and patterns you don't necessarily care for, and, you know, envelopes that are glossy where you want them to not be glossy. Alright, that can go in there. I definitely have to have at least one of the onion skin pages. I think I'll use this one. And I will save the others. I don't think they're going to stay in this order. I'm just kind of tucking them together to see what we have. Let me set the cover aside for a minute too. Let's see what else we have in here. Notebook pages, conference or class pages or whatever that is. More notebook. More of the same. A lot more of the same stuff. Let's put a Kool-Aid page in there. Because it will make the whole journal smell lovely. And then I'm going to set all of that aside and all of this aside because this packing paper takes up a lot of space. And I'm going to put a packing paper page or two in here. I'm not really, oh goodness, start that yawning again. I'm not really sure how I want this to be cut because I don't really want to sew it in. Well, that's a pretty exact fit. I don't really want to sew it on these perforated lines. That's kind of just asking for it to just fall right out. So instead, I think we'll line this up just like this and chop this right here. Is that right? No, you know what? That is not what I want to do. I want to fold it right here. I almost made a big mistake. So that would actually be the middle. And then I'm going to chop this right here. Okay, let me try that one more time. so now what I have is a little interesting because now I have pages that are all kinds of sizes if I take the perforations apart, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. And I think I'm gonna leave the pages all wonky like this and still use them all. So I have that, and then I have what will be a full page. This little middle section right here is complete. And then I have an even smaller than the first one page. Alright, and I think this is plenty of pages for a single signature journal. Plenty of stuff. In fact, I would say it's probably a little too much stuff, because once we get this in the journal and get things on the pages, this is going to be a gator mouth of a little journal. A little baby gator. So, I want to start with the vellum and probably something colorful. So let's start with the Kool-Aid paper. And then I don't want to go straight to the littlest stuff, so I think I'll do something else colorful. And then how about the bigger part page? And then how about up here can go the menu page? And then how about, let's do the first envelope, I think like this. And then what? Possibly purple. Possibly purple. And my confetti page. I don't know. That doesn't seem like it's actually going to make it into this journal. Let's do the confetti page, the full packing paper page. Where's the smallest packing paper page? Oh, it's right here. Let's do super torn up writing notebook page. Let's do the smallest packing paper page, this super nice coffee dyed, and then put this envelope in the middle. I think I'll put it toward the top. Cause. And then this whole thing would get tucked into here. And there is some trimming to do. There's some trimming to do, folks. Look at that. All right. So what I need to do to trim this is take this is kind of the way I want my pages laid out, I think. Okay, so I'm going to take what will be the biggest page, which will be this one right here, and I'm going to mark it where I want to trim it. Then I am going to go ahead and in fact trim it and use it as a template for the rest of the journal. So I want this nice and tight against the inside line. I need a pen or a pencil or a marking tool of some sort. I am going to make sure that this gets trimmed just to the inside of the book cover. As you can see, the book cover is rather lopsided because here I have some overhang and there is none down here. Actually, they meet very, very flush down at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is mark this just about 1/8 of an inch in from the edge. And then I want it about 1/8 of an inch down from the down from the top and up from the bottom. So I'm going to mark those spots. Pull out my trusty guillotine. Whoops. I'm going to have to do the other cut first. Silly girl. What was I thinking? There's that cut. Now I can do this one. Save your scraps, people. You never know. Alright. Just a quick check. Make sure this sits where I want it to. Put it in there, close up the journal, hold it in place. Sure enough, that's not bad. Now this came in farther than I wanted it to, but I'm okay with it. It really looks like I just failed to pull this bit of the cover fabric in as tight as I could have. So I think that's what's actually going on that corner. And that is perfectly okay. So now I am going to for the most part, I'm going to tear things. Maybe completely. I'm not sure. But I don't mind a lot of torn edges in here. So I'm going to line this up. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring it closer to me so I can actually see what I'm doing. I'm going to line this up on this edge right here and then line this up right here. Let's tear this bit off. And this bit. And then this is ready to go inside. The next one is this page right here. I'm going to crease this a little better. I don't want to just tear off that little speck. So what I'm going to do instead, because it's not really enough that I feel like I want to fold that in, but it's also not enough that I want to just leave it there. So what I'm going to do instead is pull this over to some random spot, put it down and not look if it's straight or not, and rip. So it's going to be vaguely straight and it's going to be small enough to fit in here. There we go. Perfect-ish. This doesn't need any trimming. It is small enough to be in here. This might need some trimming and I'm not sure how I want to do it. Because it's way too tall for this book. But I don't want to just, you know what? I won't trim it. What I will do instead is fold it. So I'm going to fold the bottom up. Like so. what is the deal here? This is gonna be, yeah, that's fine, just the way it is. So now it is not only plenty short, but it has several pockets. One right there, and then there will be one on the, one or two actually on the other signature, or the other side of the signature. Okay. The purple page. The purple page fits in just fine, except the height. It is too tall. So I think I'm going to do the same thing with this one and fold up a section. I think I'll call it a bigger, fatter section, so that two different things can happen. One, I can get a fold at the top of this, what will end up being a pocket or a folder type situation. And I have, and it's also short enough to go in the signature. All right, now we have that piece ready to go. This one, what do we got going on here? This one is a speck too wide and a speck too tall. For the too wide part, I'm going to tear off. You know what? I'm going to tear off for both. I'm going to tear off this outside edge. And then I might guillotine the top or the bottom. Okay. Alright, I won't guillotine. I'll just try to get it a little straighter than I might with just tearing, because I like some of the top ends to be cleaner, but I like these edges to be, I like them when they're kind of wonky. So now I've created that. So that can go in there, and it looks like it's gonna fit just fine. Next, we have the full paper bag page, or paper packing page, packing paper page, all that stuff. I'm going to do something a little weird here. I want a tuck spot, but I want it in the middle, on the inside edge. So what I'm going to try to do, I don't even know why, because then you got to worry about them falling out, but I kind of want to try this, so I think I'm going to do it here. I'm going to fold, now I have 3 fold lines, and I'm going to try to accordion it. So I got this one, and then this is going to be hard with such wrinkly paper, but yeah, there it is. Ugh, I gotta crease this fold more. This is, I'm asking for trouble here. Ooh, I could just crease this one more and fold one the other way. So let's try it. accordion, please. I don't think this worked the way I thought it would. Well, on one page it would. So if I sew it in here and then glue it down either here or here, it makes a tuck spot on one of the pages and leaves the other page just a short page. I guess I'm okay with that because it's something new. So I'm going to try that. Now let's figure out what's going to happen with this puppy because this one's in rough shape. I think all I'm going to do, you know what? I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to fold it all the way up in half. I don't know what I think that's going to do because they're still torn up and weak pages. I know that I did this, but so I did some torn page things in the past that turned out super cool, but I didn't think about it. I just did it out of inspiration, right, from somewhere, and I didn't save it. It now belongs to somebody else. So I don't remember what I did, and I was surprised at how cool the result was. I was just amazed as anybody else would be. If, you know, you just tried a thing and it turns out neato. You go, oh, wow, okay, that worked. So I'm not really sure what I think I'm trying to do here, but I don't think it's going to be like that. I don't think this is going to be, I don't think I'm going to be nearly as impressed with the result, but I'm just doing a bunch of folding. If it turns out I don't like it, we'll just tear stuff up. And I'll show you how to do that too. Just tear stuff up if you don't like it. Just cover it up, tear it up, rip it out. It just doesn't matter. It's paper. Okay. So I'm not sure what in the world that's going to turn into. It looks a little iffy. And then we have that, and then we have this. And then we're going to do some pockets in the center toward the top. But what do we do with this? Oh my. I'm not sure how I've ended up with such a mess. I thought I did better than this. Well, first of all, this needs to be adjusted, so I'm going to line this up with the page, fold it here, then it's going to have extra, but only in one direction. And for now, I'm just going to fold this in just like I did on the other page. And maybe they will turn into something along the line. I highly recommend you do that. Just randomly put stuff together, randomly fold things up, randomly cut or tear things to bits. It ends up a lot more interesting that way. So I think for this one, I'm going to tear this outside edge. Looks like about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch, somewhere around 3/4, I guess, right? And this sits lopsided just under 1 inch right there. So I think I'll move it over by a hair. Save that. And then I'm going to fold this part up. I'm not going to make a folder out of it though. I'm going to fold it up with the idea that it is going to just be glued down. Just to give extra strength to the page. Okay, not at all sure what happened there. That went way wonky. Wonky, wonky, wonky. That went way wonky. And it stayed that way. Come on. There we go. Oh, now it's way wonky on the bottom. Okay, I'm not sure what I did there at all, but there we go. I thought this was this is the center page, isn't it? Okay, I'm not sure what I'm doing at all. I'm kind of messing up my own ideas, but that's not unusual. I do lose track of what I was thinking quite easily. Let's put that up there. Pretend this is all sewn in and sewn together. And what can we do with this? You know what? If I just fold it over this way and glue it, it's going to look like the pocket edge anyway, right? So I think I'm just going to, first of all, I think I'm going to glue this speck down right here so it stops flopping in my way. And then I think I'm just going to leave that folded just like this because I'll do something with it along the way. Let's take a look at what this looks like. There's a cover. There's all the bits and bobs that are going to go in the cover. How does it fit? How does it feel? It is definitely all tucked in. Except that one. Okay, wait. Look, this thing right here is being a misbehavior. I better fold that in a little more. And put it a little straighter. Behave now. I swear it just got bigger. Didn't I just fold this in more? Hi, Suni. She's back in the window again already. She is back in the window already. Oh my goodness, this is not behaving. Alright, you tuck in where you belong. You stay in where you belong. I'm going to do this. So I'm putting the ruler in the very center, lining up the top and bottom the way I need them, tops and bottoms I should say, and then I'm going to pull this signature together as tight as I can because they are definitely not behaving. Then I will put some clips on it. What kind though? Just paper clips? Maybe? I don't think that's going to hold it very well. This paper is so slippery. This vellum / wax paper. It's crazy. Alright, I'm going to grab my box of paper clips and put 4 of those on. Well, I think I am anyway. Yes, I am. Sonny, you're going to have to wait a minute, honey. she climbs in the window wells because my studio is in the basement. And she climbs in the window wells and cries in the window till I come let her in. And then she roams around the house, checking to make sure everybody's okay, I guess. Gets her drink of water and a bite of food, maybe. And then she cries at the door till I let her out. Ay, ay, ay. That's a needy girl right there. Aren't you, sweetheart? Aren't ya? She's one needy little girl. It's okay, though. She's a sweetheart. That Suni Booney. Shoot, shoot, shoot. This paper clip is hard to place. Alright, let's see if that's going to hold everything in place. Well, it can't hold in place things that aren't actually clipped. So I know that that's not going to work. Alright, this might help a little bit. It's not going to help with this super slippery page because it does not want to be held down. Now let's see what we got. What we got is we still have this piece of paper not cooperating at all. I'm going to fold it in even further so it can't misbehave. It's just plain too short to get away with its shenanigans. Alright, that looks good. I'm going to pause this so I can go take care of my poor little girl Kitty who thinks she's an orphan. And then I'm going to show you what's next. Be right back. Okay, so what's next is we're going to do a very strange way to get that signature into that journal. Because a lot of times you'll see people sew or use binding techniques, those disc binders, or gosh, what else do people use? The spring binders, I forgot what those are called. But you can use those machines that do that. You can use sewing needle and thread is super common. That's what most people do. I am pretending that you have nothing. You don't have sewing. You just have, I think I said scissors and glue are the only things that you're actually going to need. Also, I think I said something to make colors with, or a pencil. Thank you so much for throwing all my stuff on the floor, Suni. That's going to be hugely helpful, I'm sure. Did you hear the stuff fall? She's just trying to help. She must have thought I was too crowded to work, so she would get rid of some of the bulk for me. I'm sure that's what it was. Okay, so I am taking strips from the hem of the shirt that I am using. I did tell you to save some kind of fabric, so I think I said t-shirts are good, pillowcases are good, so pull off strips of that. T-shirts are good because if you cut or tear off a strip of t-shirt and then pull it, right, stretch it all out, it makes this kind of coily kind of rope situation. At least most of them do. I don't know if there's an exception to that rule or whatever, but that is a thing that can happen. So here's what I'm going to do. I have all my papers ready to go into a signature. Oh, shoot. You know what? Shoot, rats. Bummer. I'm a big phony and a liar and I'm so sorry. If this is the only place where our journal cover is, we have other things to do to this before we can put our signature in. One of the things we have to do is cover this inside part. So I need a paper to do that with. Hang on, I'll be right back again. Okay, so in the interest of time, a bit, I know that might make some of you laugh, because I really don't keep to a decent time, do I? But in the interest of, relaxed time, I did a couple things off camera. I took a piece of this foam. It's super thin, but it's still got a little squish to it. That you also get in packing material, right? And I glued a piece of it in the journal cover, as you can see. And we're just gonna squish it down, and I just glued it in by these two lines right here, just hold it in place. I also got this piece of tea-dyed and onion-skinned paper, and it is going to be the liner for the journal cover. And now I have to make sure I don't put it together upside down. I think this is how I want it to go. Actually, I suppose that, yeah, okay. There's not a whole lot of upside right and upside down in here so far. There's some sideways that I didn't want to have. I don't do sideways well, but I have a few in there that are sideways. I'm going to learn a new trick. Okay, so here is the way. Oh, shoot. And that looks like it's not going to fit, doesn't it? That's all right. I can trim it before I glue it. So here's what I'm going to do. Oh, sniffles. I got the sniffles. I don't want this folded. I do want this to come over a tiny bit. I want that to come down a tiny bit. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I have an awl. If you do not have an awl, especially this kind, like a graduated one, right? This is a graduated awl. This is an awl that somebody made out of a sewing needle and a wooden dowel. They just made a hole in a dowel and stuck a sewing needle in it. I thought that was pretty ingenious. So if you have a sewing needle, a big fat one, or a regular awl, or a graduated awl, fine, use that. If you don't, use a pencil, sharpened, or the end of a paper clip folded out, or a sharp knife, or a tweezer, or I think you're getting the idea. Just use whatever it is you have. We're going to poke some holes. And because I am using this big fat string instead of thread or whatever else you might sew a journal together with, I'm going to poke bigger holes in my journal. So I'm going to start pretty close to the top, making sure that I'm going to get all of the layers, right? And I'm going to poke this graduated thing all through pretty far, because I want to be able to thread this through. And then I'm going to do another one about, that's about 1.25 inches. I think about 1.25 inches under that. You do not have to measure or anything. I'm just guesstimating spacing, and I'm making it pretty fat because I got to be able to get this thread through. So now the big question is, will I be able to get this thread through? So I think I can get it through the signature. Maybe I can use the pokey tool to get it through. Get through there. Ah, look at that. Ooh. And then I'm going to poke the other end through that second hole I made. And then I will need both of these pieces need both of these pieces to come through the cover. There's one. And there's the other one. And I'm not going to tighten anything. I'm just going to let that sit there a bit. It's just going to sit here. I got to even it out though. I didn't do it very even. There we go. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing. I've got this all twisted up. It's going all wonky, guys. It's going all wonky. I'm going to do another piece, very similar in size, shape, etc. right there. And I think instead of waiting, I think I'll push that through right away. Oh, that worked nice too. So I poked the hole and then I poked the fabric through immediately after, so that hole didn't have time to close up. Okay, there's that one. And the last one, again, I'm going to go down pretty far to the bottom. Make sure things get, and you know, everything gets caught at least 1 or 2 times. Hopefully at least 2 times. That every piece of paper has a bit of ribbon, or in this case fabric, tucked in it, going through it. Oh, that one's not working. That one's not working. Of course there had to be a stickler. Of course there did. Now is it working? Yes. And last one. Don't be a stickler. Yep. Alright, so I've just poked very large holes in the middle of my 100% junk journal, and that's probably not the greatest idea for longevity for this journal, is it? So, what I'm going to do is put a bead of glue that is in the holes I made and down the line of the spine between the holes and covered by the thread. So in the hole on the top, down that line, and in the hole again. In that hole again, and down the line of the spine, and in that hole again. Then I'm going to flip to the outside and go ahead and tie these in little bows or knots or something. I think I'll just try knots. Right up. I did leftover right and under. Didn't I? I'm going to do right over left and under so that I know what the heck I'm doing. Oh, that is what I did. And then I'm going to go left over right and under, so I'm creating square knots. And then I'm going to do the same thing out here. Dot of glue, glue where the spine is, and I'm going to put a dot right in the middle of this knot too. And pull it tight. Whoops! and slip off and punch things. Okay. Well, there you go. Right over left and under. And I think I will do this a little bit different in that I'm going to put the glue in there, there, and there, and right there, and make sure that this is nice and tight before I do the second half of the knot, because I have a feeling that one's going to end up a little loose and shaky. Square knot. There we go. Last one. In that hole, down the line. Now I'll see which way works best. Right over left and under. Then I'm going to go ahead and put it here again. Left over, right and under. Under. Behave yourself. There we go. There we go. We now have a bound journal. No needle, no thread, no nothing. We did have to find a pokey tool. If you do not have an awl or a graduated awl, I did stop talking when I didn't mean to. Use a pencil or a chopstick or both. Or, I did say a lot of ors, now that I think of it. Lots of different things you can use to get these holes in there. But, let's take a look at what we got. Oh wait, no, let's not. We have something else we gotta do quick before we go. Quick, 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 like a bunny. We're gonna put glue all over this and get it glued down. That's gonna be the liner. So, we're gonna use the Scotch Permanent Glue Stick because my other glue stick, that great big giant fat one that I have, is not the best quality glue, and I'm afraid that it would not end up sticking. Whoops, hold on. I'm also going to put more glue under the foamy piece I put. Ugh, goodness sakes, this has gotten gloppy. Gloppy, gloppy, gloppy. Let's put this down nice and even. And then I'm going to use my liquid glue along the very edges just to make sure this gets sealed all the way to the final bits. Because if you don't, that's where you're going to have a problem. Use whatever glue you have and in whatever way you have glue. And don't worry so much about what I've just done. That is a tip if you want. If you have more than one form, I just did a little bit of double gluing, and that's just sort of a helpful tip. And if you have more than one glue, go ahead and do that too. Even if you have cheapy glue stick like this. This looks like serious glue stick because it's gigantic, but this is no different than your school glue. So if you have one of those school glue sticks, absolutely just use it. In fact, just to make not a liar out of me, I'm going to go ahead and use it, even though I said I don't think it's going to last that long. The biggest reason I don't know that this is going to work all that great is because of this foam stuff I put in there. So if all you have is a glue stick that you're worried about the strength of the glue stick, don't put the foamy stuff in, and don't put the shiny paper in and that sort of thing. We'll see how it holds anyway. And I'm going to see the difference because if it comes up from there but doesn't come off of here, I'll know how the glues work. That's a little scientific experiment right here. Okay. One line of liquid glue along the edges so I can squoosh it. I'm putting one down along the spine too, and I didn't on the other side. Huh. Wonder what that's gonna do, if anything. Lots of experimenting here. There we go. Okay, we have a journal. Let's flip through it quick and then it's time to go. So The cover obviously needs decorating, but we have it sewn in, and we have some little laces of some sort. So you could have used a shoelace. If you have a shoelace, you could use that. A little bit of vellum. Goodness sakes. I've glued paper to myself. There's a big shocker. Some pink paper. Some... Do I have this book upside down and backward? That wouldn't be shocking exactly, would it? Okay. Yep, look at that. We have ourselves a journal, people. We have a journal. A journal. Wow. Huh. I'm going to have to look at that again because I'm not sure what I expected to achieve there, but I don't think I achieved it in any case. Alright, look at that. We have a journal. Remember I said this one is probably going to be loose? Look how loose that is. It's going to bug the bejeebers out of me. Did the other ones turn out okay? Yep, they did. I knew it was going to turn out yucky. I'm going to try to fix that right now. In any case, tune in next Wednesday. No, next Monday. Next Monday I will move on. Maybe to decorating the cover. Maybe to making some stuff out of these insides and some journaling tags and cards and decorations and stuff. Not sure which. Whatever strikes my fancy at the time. See you next week. And, yeah, like, subscribe, comment, all that crazy stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Make Journals, the 100% junk variety. Thanks.